Hi and welcome to this video on Ducky'S pond. So I'm going to explain it, what the problem is in this video. And then there is a separate video where I also show a possible solution to the problem. But first let's dive into the problem. So like I said, it's called Ducky'S pond. And it's about a circular pond where we have a character called Ducky, who's in the very middle. Let's draw Ducky in maybe some kind of yellow here. So Ducky is here. And then we have our orange cat, Katniss, hovering here on the circumference of the pond. And the pond is 50 meters, has a radius of 50 meters. Like so. And Ducky, and maybe we can use the colors here. So Ducky has a speed of 3 meters per second. And then we have Katniss, who has a speed of that was my mistake. Katniss has 3 meters per second. And I'm gonna change Ducky actually has a speed of 1 meter per second. So what Ducky wants here is to get from the middle to the edge, and then he can take off, let's say, but he's swimming here with 1 meter per second, and the cat is running here. The cat wants to avoid the water that we obviously have in the pond. So he only runs along the circumference and tries to capture Ducky as Ducky reaches the edge. So Ducky, as long as he reaches the edge without Katniss being there, he can fly off to safety. So now we're not going to go into the mathematics here. Instead, I'm just going to give you some of the how this problem works. So this is level 1 that I've given you now, with Ducky being 1 meter per second, Katniss being 3 times as fast. And an actual solution to this is to basically for Ducky to just dash for the edge in the opposite direction of where Katniss is. And Katniss will then start running along the edge. And if we looked here in the interface, we have level 1 here. So if you follow this strategy that I just said to figure out the degrees here to the cat, which is given to you actually, and just go in the opposite direction, you will actually manage to reach the edge. This is not the actual problem. Level 1 is more of a warm-up. We can also see here what I just talked about, that there is 50 meters radius from where Ducky is to the edge. C is the marking here for the closest point. Where Ducky is in the very middle, C can be anywhere, so we just show it here. And then we have some more information here to the right. We see it's level 1, cat speed 3, like I said. There is also a move 0 out of 300, so we're going to start the problem now, and we are allowed to make 300 moves. And in each move, Ducky will get to move 1 meter, so each move is 1 second. And we are going to use an absolute max of 300 seconds for Ducky to reach the edge without being met by Katniss. Distance from C we give here. So again, C is the closest point for Ducky. So if Ducky would be, for example, here, then C would be at the top here. So here we get some information. Ducky is now 50 meters from that point, and that also calculates to 50 seconds. So it's going to take him 50 seconds to reach the edge. Katniss happens to be here right now. It's the orange dot. And he's almost 35 meters from C right now. And that would take him 11.6 seconds going via the circumference of a circle. So those things are just calculated to make it more interesting. If at any point this number of seconds here is lower than this number of seconds here, then that means that Ducky can just go for the edge and will be successful. And then as it says here, Ada is helping us saying that we should implement level 1 solution to the right. That means to write the code here. We have some information here in the description, basically what I'm going through now. And in level 1 here, we see that we get some input. We get the duck degrees. So what is the degrees? Well, that is, if we look again on this whiteboard, we can see the degrees here. So we're going to use a 360 degree circle. So it starts with 0 at the rightmost point, 30, 60, 90 degrees, all the way up to 360, which is the same as 0. And the degrees is given as a float. So we get the input as a float, number of degrees, and we also return a float, number of degrees, to which direction to face. So if we go back here to the interface, we then get the duck degrees, meaning, well, in the beginning it might be any number, but after that we will get where duck is located on the circle. And as we said, 0 is to the right, and then it goes positive direction like this until it's 360 again to the very right. So that is the input we get here. And then we get the duck distance. So that is the number of meters that ducky is from the very center. So in the beginning it will be 0 meters from the center. So that is a way to position ducky. And then cat degrees is then the same type of degrees that we just saw here, but instead where Katniss is. And we don't need any more information. There is no distance because the distance is always 50. Katniss moves only on the circumference. So that's the input that we get. And this move level 1 make move method is called once per second. And what we return here is the degrees we want to move in. So as you see here, there is a limitation, there is a simplification. That ducky can only move in a straight line each second. But since that is actually 50 seconds to reach the end here, it's quite a lot of possibility to alter the course. But that is a limitation. You could not move in a perfect spiral, for example. It would have to be some straight lines adding up to, yeah, that would be even more than 50 if you're going to use a spiral. But that's the idea. There is like a time quant, a minimal time, which is 1 second, where you can change the direction. So that is the direction you should compute here. And it's a giveaway here is just to take the categories that we have. Looking back at this one, so the categories looks like it's something like, what should we guess? Something like 320 degrees maybe, if we look here. So we get that as input, and all we need to do is to find the very opposite angle. So in this case it would be maybe 320 that we get in minus 180 degrees, and then we would find the opposite direction, and then we can just make a dash for the edge here. I have some code here I can paste in just to show how this would work. So I'm using Python here now, and if we run the code on level 1, it will look like this. Okay, I did something wrong. There was some more code I needed to paste. Also on the class here. So now let's try. So now I'm just finding the opposite direction to where the cat is, and I will beat the cat by 2.4 seconds. So the level 1 is just a warm-up to familiarize yourself with the interface or the code input and output and things like that. So if we go back here, we see that the very first step, we go one little time quant, 1 meter, so 1/10 of this circle here, in the opposite direction to where we find Katniss. So whatever we get in, let's say 320 minus 180, that's the degree that we choose. And then C gets moved to the edge there to show now the closest point on the circle from where Ducky is currently. And then we see there is some 49 seconds left to travel to reach that C there, going 1 meter per second. And here we can already see the clue that we're going to make it, because Katniss has started to move along the circumference, still has 154 meters to go along the circumference, but that takes 51.4 seconds apparently. And we can see there is a difference here of 2.4 seconds. And as we run the whole simulation, we see that in the end it's still 2.4 seconds. So that makes a lot of sense. We just continued going in a straight line, and we beat Katniss by the same number that we saw was the difference after one step. You can also see that there is in this interface a little circle drawn every second, so we can see. It's actually not every second, I think. Yeah, it's something else, but maybe every 2-3 seconds or something. There is a circle dropped, so we can see the movement, and it's losing. I mean, it's a more transparent in the beginning than in the end, so we can see where we started and where we went. And a similar way for Katniss. So yeah, that's what you see there. So let's turn our attention now to level 2. So in level 2, as we see here, the cat speed increases from 3 meters per second to 4 meters per second. Still the same kind of starting setup as we have here. So this, if you want, is the real problem which you need to solve. So I'm not going to give away to the solution now. There is also there's a video where I show a way to solve this problem. But yeah, so a lot of the problem here is to figure out this puzzle. How can you go about solving it? Use some clever trick to reach the end. If you would just use the same solution that I just did on level 1, you will be caught. Maybe we can look at how that looks. Then we can just actually call level 1 here. Level 1 make move, and we send in the same things as we have here. Just to make the point that we will be caught in this. No, never switch to level 2. Oops. Yeah, so okay, take it one more time. As you see here, now with cat speed 4, Katniss will be waiting at the edge there. Will be sometime before Ducky reaches the edge. Already here, Katniss is waiting. So that is the problem. We need to find some more clever way. But then the interface is the same. We have the same kind of definition for the radius or for the degrees that we're going to send back here. And if you tried it and think it's very tricky, you can also watch the solution video. But that is Ducky's pond, so good luck solving it.